The EarSauce podcast.
Yeah, that's fine. So this week was kind of busy, you know. There's 7 big albums. I say big in air quotes because not all of them are big. But who wants to kick things off? I'm thinking we should start with 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz. Are you sure you want to start with this one? Yeah,
I don't know. You know, I don't know. Maybe we should start with something a bit different. Let's start with Davido.
Afia, what do you want to start with? Let the first lady speak.
Yeah.
I really want to start with Salieu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name properly, but I just want to get that one out the way because I really like this kid. I love his music. I think he's super talented. Yeah, no, I appreciate his storytelling, his style, everything.
Love is in the air. Sorry. Carry on, Afia.
So, yeah, I just want to start there because I was so impressed by the entire project, and I think he really delivered. One thing for me, having grown up in the Midlands, was very much the whole vibe of mixing African and Caribbean culture. So when I was younger in the Midlands, it was very segregated, like the African and Caribbean communities. And over time, that has changed. So it was very interesting to see that come together in this project in the way that he did it. It was so fluid. It was so well done. I absolutely loved the whole thing. That's it.
Okay, so come on, give us some more information. What were your favourite tracks? What was it about the project that you liked? What was your actual standout song?
So let me have a look. I wrote notes. Give me 1 second.
Actually flipped through her binder.
I know, can you tell? Literally, I had a lot of thoughts.
Pages and pages and pages of notes.
Trust me. Oh. So my top tunes were TTM or Track Till Morning. And I thought that was a banger. I just loved the storytelling in it was brilliant. And then after that, it was Active with Santora. That was brilliant as well. And the funny thing is, I couldn't decide which one I liked more. I mean, I think Santora came in second, but it was, it was quite close. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Active with Santora. Santora. That's it. There we go.
You chose completely different tracks to what I've chosen. So
yeah, same.
Oh,
no.
Who's going next?
Manu, what are you saying?
No. I feel like you two, because you two don't like Afro beats. You two go first.
I'll go next.
I need to finish him off. I need to finish him off well.
Finish him off.
Oh my goodness.
Take it easy.
Okay, I'll go next. I just want to say pause on behalf of Manny. So let's take a quick pause. He said some outrageous things just then. Anyway, so I quite like this album. It's mad aggressive, I was listening to it and thinking there's a lot of aggressive energy in this album, but it kind of dies down towards the last couple of tracks. But it's a good listen. There is Caribbean vibes in there, and I did sense a bit of Afro beats. But I really liked it. It was a good listen. My favorite track was track number 9, More Paper, with 8-9 Fly. I thought that was a really good track, and it kind of broke up the really dark tone that was prevalent in the album. I also like the interlude Pile Up, which is track 8. That was really good as well. But there wasn't much bad to say about the album. It's a solid effort. I don't know if this is his first album, but if it is, this is a really good first album. And it ends really well as well. Energy's a good track too.
Thanks for that, Ollie. In other news, I'm joking. I felt that the album was actually good. I wasn't expecting that sound to come from it. So whereas Manny was trying to allude to this album being an Afrobeats album or something like that, I didn't feel that was the case. I think the way Afia described it was probably the best way of looking at it, as a European infusion. No, a European fusion of African and West Indian sound. You get both sides of the coin with this album, and I was a bit confused because at the beginning it almost sounded like it was Vybz Kartel on the beat. But no, I enjoyed it. I feel like the album actually flowed really well from track to track, and it wasn't because all the tracks sounded the same. They just fit together very well. I think that my favorite song was probably Informer, which had millions. Millions has been on a few albums actually recently, and I've actually liked his verses every time. I know that he's someone that is rated highly in the UK, but he's someone that I don't really listen to much myself. But I think that I do need to take some time and listen to his stuff because he can really rap and his flow is really different as well. I do like the way he spits. But yeah, throughout the project, there are a few standout tracks, and I really did like the track Black as well. That came towards the end of the album. But yeah, definitely my favorite track was Informer. Manny, over to you.
Yes. I've been waiting for this one. Parsley. This, my friends, and let me correct you because you guys have been going on, and it's been paining me. It's not his album. It's his first mixtape.
Oh, wow.
Mixtape or album.
Yeah.
I was just saying.
I'm sorry, I don't buy into that. Every single time someone says mixtape, I don't buy it. There's no difference.
Mate, look, it's his first mixtape, so it's not even his album, right?
Manny, are all of these beats brand new? Or are they copies, or is he just covering someone else's track? If it's a new beat, then it's a new song. It's a project consisting of totally new songs. It's an album. I don't care about this whole mixtape thing. It's a cop out.
At the end of the day, it's written as a mixtape, so I'm just correcting you guys. I'm just saying it says it's his first mixtape. What's the difference between mixtape and album? I'll leave that debate for another day. Back to Salieu. This guy has emerged on the scene in a really powerful way. Frontline, I think, was his first single that garnered mainstream attention. I did a bit of research on it. I think BBC One and One Extra, that Frontline tune is their song of the year for 2020, which is really good for him. But the song that I discovered him on was My Family, where the visuals on that song were absolutely crazy. So for me, I see him, Salieu and Backroad G as Afro drill. Afro drill artists. I don't know if that term's been used elsewhere, but I'm coining it here. The Afro drill. Yeah, because the subject matter they spit, the lyrics they tend to use are all very lyrics that you often find within the drill genre, but instead they've used it against an Afro swing backdrop, bringing forth a new sound. So that's why this mixtape had a very fresh feeling to me, and I'm very, very invested in this guy's career. I'd love to. I think if he was on stage, I think he'd be a very astute performer as well. That would bring a lot of energy. He reminds me a lot. He reminds me of J House a lot, to be honest. Did you guys catch that vibe?
Yeah, for the most part, I do agree with what you're saying. I did get that vibe.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's a label positioning thing or whether or not that's his. I don't know whether that's organic or whether it's manufactured, but it's very much welcome because for a long time J Hus has been unique in his own realm. So to have more artists like that with similar sounds, not saying that it's an exact replica. It's the type of music that I enjoy, so I believe that Salieu has a long road ahead. As I already mentioned, two of my shout-out songs, Frontline and My Family, but the third one is Betty. Those are the bangers for me on this album. I mean mixtape, sorry. I'm gonna, because I'm last, I'll give it the rating. So I think for me it's easily a 4. It's not a 5 yet because it's a mixtape, obviously. well, for the most part, it did flow, but there were a few tracks where it did feel a bit repetitive. But yeah, if he does do an album, I'd love to see him be more introspective as well. What do you guys rate it?
Definitely not a 4, but it's a good album. I rated it a 3. But it was a solid project, though. Saki Q definitely be proud of, especially if it's his first effort.
Yeah, I rated it a 3 as well. It's kind of weird me and Matt agreeing on a number, but yeah, it's a
very
3
strange. Should put the lottery on.
Yeah, why did it? But like, why?
It didn't grab me.
I'm saying that you should raise it a 4, but why?
It didn't grab me as much as a normal forward. Like when we looked at the list of 4s we've given, I listened to this album after looking at our list, and to me it doesn't fit in that list.
Yeah, what Ali said.
I feel like there should have been a bit more creativity in the way he delivered his bars. A couple times the tracks felt too samey. So for me, it's good, but I wouldn't give it a 4.
Right.
See, I give it a 3, but only because I feel like he is still evolving. His sound is still evolving. But I give it a really high 3. I think this kid is extremely talented, not to be patronizing. This guy is extremely talented, and I look forward to seeing what his career, his future brings, just like Manny, because his storytelling to me, I really thought this was very introspective. I really, really did. I mean, at the point in his career that he's at, I thought it was almost outstanding. The whole project, like, I enjoyed it that much. So that's me.
And we all know Afia loves an introspective project, doesn't she?
I do. I really, really do. I want the feels. It's very important.
Ooh, those feels again. No, I agree with what you said. If we just take into account his age and stuff like that, then I'm sure that we can appreciate that it's a really good project for someone so young and I guess so inexperienced. However, we don't take that into account, so that's why I'm not giving it a higher rating. But I have no doubt that in his next project, or in the future at least, he will definitely be reaching a 4, maybe even a 5. He definitely, if this is where he is right now on his journey, his potential must be huge, and he should have the ability to level up further.
I want to see a J House, Backroad G, and Salieu mixtape. That's all.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm not a big fan of Backroad G though.
Pull
He's
off
always shouting.
We're off to war.
He's always shouting at me. Like, stop shouting at me.
No, he needs to shout. You need to feel the vim.
Sometimes you got to feel the energy, that meat meal energy, You got to just let it out, man.
Wait, listen to the lyrics. Pull off your wig. We're going to war.
Oh, I do love that lyric. Yeah, I know. That is banter. I love it.
All right, cool. Did everyone give the ratings they have in it? So
Yeah.
Everyone gave a standout song as well? Yeah.
I think only me.
No, I gave one. Mine was More Paper.
Cool. And Nalo's Afia did as well. So, all right, cool.
What was yours, man?
Let's
Yours?
Informer.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Who's next then? Who would do it?
So can we just get an overall for that one? Overall, we're giving it how many years?
3.
3.
Cool. Yeah.
And our standout song
Yes.
was Informer.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I believe so. Lovely
Cool.
job there.
Next one.
Let's
That
go
was
in
Matt's stand-up song.
Yeah, but I'm the only one that matters. So.
No, I don't
Well, okay. Did
Right.
anyone think More Paper was the standout song?
I feel like
I have to say,
only my voice matters. What are you talking about here, guys?
I have to say, if I have to pick a standout song, I will back Manny's Options because they're the 2 songs I found him through as well, and I really enjoyed them. So yeah,
Cheers.
Right. I see,
Betty
okay.
and My Family.
Okay, cool. So we'll do whichever one of them.
My Family, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
let's
cool.
do that.
Cool.
If that's how you spell Informer, then sure.
This is actually quite interesting. So all 4 of us pick kind of different standout songs. So it shows
Yeah, the album's good. It's just not a 4.
Yeah.
But like I said, you would definitely get there with his next effort.
Let's shoot a quick win then. Should we go Masego? I don't know if is it Masego?
It's Masego for 1 and 2. Manny, can you give us your lovely deliverance of our socials? I love the way you do it, Manny.
Oh, cheers. Why don't you pause when Matt says stuff like that? You only pause.
What's that to pause about?
You know what? Yeah.
He said
Pause.
What are you pausing for? What are you pausing about? Are we paused to reflect on it and take it in further? Is that what it's about?
Pause
Did you hear
again.
that?
Pause again.
Okay, let's click play. And deliver us these socials.
So our socials, we haven't even said hello to our listeners. Well gone. Thank you.
Hi guys.
Thank you for tuning into the EarSauce podcast. For those who are listening to us, follow us on Twitter, EarSauce_. Follow us on Instagram, EarSauce_. Drop us a DM. We want to hear from you. We want to feel your fandom. We want to feel your follow dom. So, yeah.
They want to feel the dom.
Only Matt wants to feel that.
We'll edit that one out. Yeah.
So,
what?
Matt, are you going to give your socials so that people can follow the dom?
Okay. On Twitter, I'm Mr. Matty Lee. On Instagram at Mr_Matty Lee. Follow me up.
Ollie.
And on Twitter, I am at OCClark_10.
Afia.
Okay, so I have an Insta, earsauce.afia.
Send dick pics.
Don't send dick pics, please.
Nah, don't do that. Like, you're the devil.
She's the one that keeps emphasizing that she does not want to receive dick pics, right? So when you emphasize something that you don't want, you're essentially speaking into it. Exactly.
You smart. Exactly. You smart.
She knows what she wants.
I'm harvesting them all.
Harvesting. There you go. Anyway.
Okay, so Masego.
Try to say hibernation, bro. Try to say hibernation.
On that one show, let's move on to Masego. And apparently he's been studying abroad recently.
Mm-hmm. It's going well.
He has put together a lovely EP in which he takes out his majestic saxophone and serenades us with lovely tones of musical brilliance through 6 tracks and 17 minutes. Masego is like one of the most talented people in his generation that's out there.
Why is he so talented? Because I don't know much about him.
Because he can sing, he can write, and he plays a saxophone. And when he plays a saxophone, what does it do, Afia? It gives you those what?
Feels.
It gives you those feels. And it just feels so good. Honestly, whenever Masego goes on someone else's track as well, he really just puts his vibe, it puts his imprint on the track. You can always tell when he's on a song of someone or when it's his song. It's just got a certain feel to it. So yeah, I really did enjoy it.
Was there a track on this album where he was like spitting his shit, where he was kind of like, saying like, look, respect me cause?
Yeah, there was, I guess. But I think that was a Sides of Me.
Yeah,
or was it by Felicia? Yeah. But I think part of it is because although he's so talented, although he makes good music, he doesn't necessarily get that same commercial level of success as some of his peers do. So, for example, I would put him in the same sort of bracket as people like the Internet, which is actually a group, but like that's the sort of music he makes, that sort of neo soul sound. But he doesn't get that same sort of level of critical, he doesn't get the same praise. He doesn't get the same sort of success in terms of numbers. But at the same time, he's someone that people will turn to regularly when they want someone to feature on their song. And when he does, like I said before, he does take the song onto another level. But yeah, for me, it's a neo soul EP, and my favorite song is probably, it might be Passport, which came out a few months ago, but I also quite like By Felicia. But what annoyed me about By Felicia is that at the end of the song, it had like a real opportunity there to have a long saxophone solo, and he never took it. And I think it really just takes some of the polish, some of that shine off that song and off the end of the project as well. But I don't know. I guess that's not what he wanted for this track. But in the future, I hope that he makes use of his talent and that is differentiated, if you like, the fact that he plays a saxophone. That's what sets him apart from any of his peers. And he should actually do it more often. He should make it a thing that his songs are known for having a dramatic solo on the saxophone or something like that. Here and there. But yeah, that's me. What are you guys thinking?
So, this is an amazing EP. You know it's really good when you play it once and then you realise you have it on repeat and you constantly play it. So I played it like 3 times back to back. I never got bored. And then I played it twice today, just before we started recording, because I'm still not bored of it. And anybody who can play a saxophone is flipping excellent in my eyes. As somebody who plays various instruments, not to toot my own horn, but I can play the drums, I can play the piano, I can play the recorder and the triangle.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, so I know how much effort goes into playing like instruments, but also just I think 4 out of the 6 tracks feature like a nice amount of sax, and it just rounds up every track to make it that little bit better, a little bit more relaxing. I like the features he has as well. He's got Chainz and Don Toliver. Don Toliver? Yeah, Don Toliver.
Don Toliver.
And yeah, they do really good as well. Every track is extremely solid, and it just flowed beautifully. It's such a feel-good album, and it just... I'm lost for words, literally lost for words. It's really, really good. My favourite track was probably By Felicia, but I also really like Passport as well, and Silver Tongue Devil. And Polygamy is really good, actually. But yeah.
Every song bangs.
To be fair, every...
You literally named every song on the EP. But it's true, all the songs are good.
But yeah, By Felicia is really good. I like the sax, and I thought it was the right amount. Polygamy is really good. But yeah, I think By Felicia is my standout song, with Silver Tongue Devil a close second, because Chainz smashes it.
Afia, do you want to go?
Sure. I agree with both of you. I thought it was an outstanding piece of work. It was all about the feels from beginning to end, and yes, I do appreciate that. My top tune was Mystery Lady with Don Toliver. I thought it was just brilliant. It was so introspective, as well as Sides of Me. That was dope. I just loved the whole thing as well. I can't really add anything more to it, and I'd give it 4 ears. That's it. It's great.
So the words I use is I thought this was a very flavorful album. Mixtape, EP, EP. Fucking hell, brain fart. I thought it was a very flavorful EP. He stuck to a solid concept, but the only thing that's quite disappointing about this is that it would have worked well as an album. So, like in recent reviews, we've had artists provide us too much content. Whereas I feel like in this case, he could have provided us a bit more, especially with how well he constructed his concept, and obviously that was all. So yeah, it's just a bit disappointing that it wasn't longer. But yeah, my favorite.
Sorry, mate. To be fair though, what I will say is this: Normally, when an artist releases an EP, it's because the album's coming soon. So this is like it's an appetizer. It's to whet the palate, so to speak.
Yeah.
So hopefully, we've just heard an amazing EP. Hopefully, the album follows up with the same sort of strength. Exactly. I hope he doesn't fumble it, but I think my hopes are high now, very high for his album. Some of his albums don't always sound amazing, to be honest. His last one wasn't great, but generally speaking, his albums, his full-length projects have been good. So
that's the thing. Like, if he's put this much thought into the EP, if he delivers an album that hasn't got as much of a concept, then it would be disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. So, but
I agree.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with Masego except for like his massive features. But yeah, like I will be tuning into an album release after listening to this. So yeah, shout out song by Felicia. Cool. Are we doing ratings? Okay, I'll go. So I would rate this one a 4.
Ooh.
4 A's for me. 4 strong A's for me.
Yeah, this is a solid 4 for me as well.
Yeah, me too. Definitely a 4.
That was easy.
Oh.
Are we unanimous? Wow, okay, it's beautiful to see. Lovely jubbly.
What was our top tune, though?
3.
Bye, Felicia.
Fuck off.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia. But you have to spell it like that. Bye, Felicia.
Cool. Let's go to this is a weird one because this should be seen as the biggest release of the weekend when you look at the two artists that came together for this project. But I feel like as we go through the review process, it might not live up to expectations. So Future and Lil Uzi Vert, they released a project together, Pluto X Baby Pluto, and 16 tracks, an hour long. What do you guys think?
Ooh, I'm going to go first. Now, historically, I hear a Future project or I hear a Future collab, I listen to it first, I don't like it. And then I listen to it again, I like it a bit more. And the more I listen to it, the more I like it, until it becomes good. This is definitely not one of them projects, for me anyway. I don't know what it is, but every single track sounded the same. And I started to just zone out and not even pay attention to the lyrics after like track 12. Because it just felt like they're talking about the same thing over and over and over again. And there's only so many different ways you can talk about Baguette on your list. Or like buying designer brands. I just got so bored. I had to listen to it in 2 takes. And it just didn't really hit home with me. Also, I don't think I like Lil Uzi rapping that gang shit. I don't know. Something about it don't seem right. But
it's hard to listen to him talking gang shit when we see him on social media all the time being anything but gang. Yeah, it's so weird.
But
it's so weird.
Given where he grew up, I mean, I think some of it is plausible. Anyway, like as a whole,
I will say this: I've seen him in direct confrontations with people, and he doesn't back down.
Yeah,
and I assume he has goons around him, but it's still I find it I struggle to connect between him being this ultra happy, ultra bubbly, ultra whatever person, and then talking gang shit. It doesn't really make sense.
I don't think he's ultra happy at all. I think he's quite depressed, and you can kind of see it when you interact with fans.
But when you see him on social media, though, he gives off the energy of a happy person. Yeah. He's always jumping around, smiling, laughing, whatever.
I don't think that really matters, though, because really what it boils down to is that the project is trash. It was just trash. So, I mean, no offense to him if he's dealing with emotional and mental health things. Yeah. But speaking on the project itself, it was so trash. I had to agree with everything you were saying, Ollie. Oh my God, it was like white noise. I couldn't listen to it. I tried a second time and I just could not do it. It was headache inducing.
I can't lie, it was inducing a headache in me as well at the beginning, but it did improve. It improved when they had their own 2 solo tracks, and I feel like Lil Uzi's was a better one of them. And despite everything I was saying about not really relating to him talking like gang stuff,
I felt like that track was kind of authentic, and I quite liked it, and that was also my standout track. But I couldn't wait to finish that album. Like I went for a run while listening to it. It kind of like spurred me to do more, but it was just hot garbage, man. Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
That's a bit harsh,
Okay.
but it's just not good.
Let me say what I want to say now. Oh, go on, Manny. You go for it, because you've been going last a couple of times. Go on, Manny.
Cool.
Bunch of.
Yeah, I'm gonna come through and say it was the best album I heard in 2020.
Psych.
Okay. Now let's. Thanks for listening to the EarSauce podcast this week. It's time to go. If Manny's saying that, it's time to go.
No.
Please, Manny. Please, Sarcy, you're joking.
So no, this album was this album. I'm only taking a piss. You'd expect when two like major forces collide, like you're gonna get like an Versailles level eruption in the game. This is two
superstars, genuine superstars.
Two superstars, like seriously, like, but it just wasn't necessary, man. Especially if you're gonna put out something that's not going to be great. Like I think Future has a track record of doing like these collabs and a lot of the songs. Yeah.
I mean, the only collab that Future's done
wasn't too bad.
That's the only one that's good. Everything else is shit for him. Many clubs.
Yeah, but it's probably made him a lot of money. That's why he's always keen to do these ones. So yeah, it makes sense. But listening to this, there were a few tunes that you could imagine get rotation in a club, but like this album itself is just a collection of singles that they like put together, like, or probably sent each other via emails. Like it's not, there's no heart and soul to this project. It's just a collection of singles.
I feel like there was like a folder labeled Maybe Beats, and they just sat in the studio together. They just went through each beat and just like dropped bars on top of them and called it a day after like 2 hours.
To be fair, that is probably exactly what happened, because I've heard Future and like Southside and Metro talk about the recording process before for previous mixtapes, and that's exactly how it was. So I wouldn't be surprised if it literally was a case of they dialed in for like a day, maybe a weekend, and they just banged it out, and that was it.
Well, it shows.
What do you guys?
Shows.
Oh, Matt, your turn. Sorry.
Literally, my review is not much different than what you said, Manny, from what Ollie said. It's not as harsh as what Afia said, but my point is that it's a collection of singles. Some of them are alright. I quite like $1 Million Baby. I quite like Lullaby, and I think there's another song, but I can't remember what it was called. They're all good, but if you're drinking and you're just on a bit of a hype, you want to have some heavy bass lines, you know you're gonna get that if a Future project. It's this typical, like, you know, Metro Boomin, Southside sort of production experience, and then that's about it. Though you're not going to get anything more from that than that. Sorry, and weirdly, you know, when Future and Lil Uzi Vert when they do their solo projects, they do normally have a bit more to their music. They normally talk a bit more about themselves, a bit more introspection. Like Afia likes, and you normally just get a better experience. To me, it just seemed like these two were recording this project whilst they were in club mode for like 95% of the recording process, and there was no attempt to even reflect on anything about their personal lives at all in there, or even on society in general. Like, you know, right now, there's so many things they could really speak on which would be relevant, and they just didn't. So. Yeah,
I don't want to go to Future for politics, mate. No way.
No, you don't want to go to him for politics, but I'm saying that it could be quite easy to make a song what talks about some things, even like a little bit of police brutality, a bit of like the election there. You know, it could have been a very easy win, but he just chose not to do it. So there you go.
All I wanted was... go on, you go.
No, go on.
All I wanted was a bunch of scriptures from Future, like Future 10:16. And then
even that, they're not even in there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I
want to know, how do you pattern the bitches up, you know? But
and I want to know how you cheat on when I don't know, just like I don't know.
It wasn't there, man. It was lacking. It was definitely lacking.
I think for me the issue was, like you were saying, Ollie, it's the same story on every track. Just come up with something new. I'm so tired of this now. It does get repetitive, the same narrative over and over. And Future has become a little bit repetitive. Like, his music is not creative to me anymore.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like he's like, as Joe Budden says, he puts out low quality music, but constantly. And I feel like if he didn't oversaturate himself, this sort of stuff would be less draining. But he does like 3 or 4 projects a year, right?
Yeah, but he's got all those kids to look after, so needs must, boy.
I do wonder with him, like, how much of it has to do with the fact that the producers that made him amazing, they themselves are stretched a bit more thin. And what I mean by that, for example, is a couple of months ago now, or like a month ago now, we had 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. They did an amazing project together. Now, Metro Boomin and Future are very much associated with each other. How many of those beats that went to that 21 Savage project would Future maybe have had in a different time? You know what I mean? So it's those sort of things can make a massive difference to a project like this, because we all know half the time if Future's tracked, not to say his lyrics or his voice don't make a difference, but the beats are just so good, it wouldn't really matter what he's saying.
I feel like the beats hype him up, like the beats give him the energy he needs. Like,
it probably is that.
Beat, he's gonna like switch up his phone and amp it up.
Yeah, and he goes harder. Yeah. But it was lackluster in this project. I don't think the beats were amazing, generally speaking. So.
Like one beat and they changed like two different parts of the beat on each single track. And let's call it a day.
Indeed. So ratings, guys.
So I'll give this one 2.
I know what Afi's going to say already, but Afi's going to say 1.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1. It was trash.
Afia loves the 1, White days. She loves dropping them once.
1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever see.
Well.
All right, Ollie, what are you saying?
2 can be as bad as 1. But I'm joking, it's a 2. But I say that because I feel like in the right setting, this album might sound better. But I don't want to test that out though. Not right now, at least.
You don't want to test it out? Oh, because of Corona.
Yeah.
Fine, let's fly up to Miami, hit up, live, and it'll sound good there.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sick. But my favourite track also was Lullaby.
Lullaby was hard. Afi, did you have a favourite track or did you not make it to the end?
I did not pick anything. It all sounded trash.
That's fair.
Manny, what was your favourite track?
My favourite track was Moment of Clarity.
Cool.
Rockstar Chainz.
Okay, so my favourite track was Lullaby as well, so that means we've got a standout song there.
Okay.
And I rate it 5 ears. No, I'm joking, it's 2. So I don't know what's going on today, Ollie, but can you stop redoing our notes, because it sounds like you're just copying me.
Nah,
Are you copying me?
I'm just gonna shoot shots at the next track.
Okay.
Next album, even next album.
Good.
So the standout song was
Lullaby.
And overall, we give it
1.5.
2 ears. No, it's 2 ears.
2 ears. Thank you.
All right, cool.
Should we go to Africa?
Let's go to Africa.
Yes.
Nigeria, to be specific.
Afrobeats, yeah.
I'm gonna open this one up, yeah. Davido.
Go on, man.
Davido.
They call him Oga Davido. I want you guys to say it. Say Oga Davido.
Oga Davido.
I ain't gonna do it.
Why don't you do it?
Oga Davido.
Yeah, that's it. Calm.
What is it you to say, Ollie? Do you even know what he's telling you to say?
Smash
You could have been telling you got a small penis, and you just said it. Like,
I'm pretty sure it's Spice the Tuna Belt.
Oga is like when you call somebody boss.
Yeah, it's chief.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, when you see someone, you know, you're like, oh, you're right, boss. You just, oh, you're right, okay.
Don't trust them, Ollie. They're telling you.
No, I promise you. I promise you.
I was under the impression it's Spice the Tuna Belt, and I stand by that.
Look, it means you're giving them respect. It's like elder statesmen. Do you know what I mean? So Davido is the Oga in this case. Yeah. Anyway, going back to his project, A Better Time. I felt it was a nice album, showcasing a lot of different genres that are emerging from Africa at the moment. He also collabed with a lot of big US artists. The only issue with me when listening to this album is, whilst I did enjoy like the songs on the album, it just felt like that, like a collection of songs. I did think it was a better effort than Wizkid, because I felt Wizkid's album was more sort of like reggae, whereas this was straight like Afro beats throughout. So yeah, what do I want to say? So my shout song was Shopping Spree. I did enjoy the Tyra Savage song. I don't know what's it called again? Tanana, that's the one. Yeah, I did enjoy that song too. Yeah, it was a good effort, man. It was a good effort, but I think in his next project, it would be nice to have him use like the same ingredients, but maybe introduce some interludes to kind of break the album up a bit. Just give it a bit more of a structure. That would be awesome.
Like how Beyonce did it for a while.
Yeah, exactly. With that album's really good. But obviously that was Lion King, and I know you feel like I feel like there's a dig in there somewhere, but like how Beyonce actually did use the interludes, it was good. So yeah, Matt, I feel like you're about to send some shots. So you get it.
I feel like Randy saw the joke I was trying to make there, and he shot it down nicely.
He done it really good politically. I feel like I'm going to be the harshest, so I want to go just so I can get my harsh criticisms out there.
Yeah,
so
the
rest of you can. Okay, cool. So this album to me was a harder listen than Wizkid's. Wizkid's felt more approachable. This album, it felt too into that sound, and now I don't know what it is, but I just can't get on board. What I do like though is the use of.
But I think we've like identified why. Like we spoke about this in the group, right? Like Matt and Ollie were the guys that used to bully the African kids at school. That's why they can't stand up for it.
I don't want to say or admit to that. So
to be fair, we bullied the African kids here as well, so nothing's changed.
I mean, I didn't want to put it out there, but I can even confirm.
Yeah, that's not happening on this podcast. So I don't know where you're bullying people from Africa.
Remember what I said? These bitches is my sons.
Listen, I love my African brethren. I stand shoulder to shoulder with them, and I see them as equals. With that being said, I do like the way they use like percussions in their beats, and I think it gives it an authentic sound. What I believe to be authentic sound, I don't know, so I've never been to Africa, but I just couldn't get along with the album. Sometimes it felt too hard for me to listen to, but there was more tracks that I liked on this album than Wizkid's, and those were Holy Ground, which is track 4 with Nicki Minaj, Shopping Spree, which is with Chris Brown, So Crazy with Lil Baby, and Birthday Cake with Nas and Hit Boy. I also like
all the features.
I also liked The Best with Mayokun. I don't know who he is or she.
The South African artist.
But yeah, those were the tracks that I liked. But it just wasn't for me. I mean, it was. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't say it's bad. Like I feel like the quality of the music's good, I just can't get on board with the sound.
I feel like the best way to describe how Ollie feels about this whole thing, right, is that Ollie is just racist and he don't like African people.
No.
That's why he don't like the project. That's the best way of describing it, really.
I would have stood by that if there wasn't another album that I listened to, which is called Afrobeats Pop. And I love that. I love that project. I was bopping to it and everything.
Who's the artist that created that album? It must not be...
MRA?
Oh, okay, cool. But that's completely different to, like a Davido. Davido like stands firm in his Afrobeats, whereas Amare is kind of like experimental, like neo soul. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's a whole different kettle of fish. I think what you don't like is accents, because you don't like northern rappers either.
Sometimes,
but he likes Jadena.
Bugsy. I like Jadena as well, but I like when Jadena goes heavy in its African bag. I don't know. I think it's just something about the way these tracks are delivered. Or maybe it's. I think maybe because I don't know anything about the culture.
It's like American though. Like it's not. I'm not gonna be.
Davido's American as well, by the way.
Yeah, but he's Nigerian more than American.
Yeah,
it depends. They're both Nigerian American.
It depends how close you are to. If you're a diasporan person, it depends how close your links are to your.
But what if the links are exactly the same? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, there's some Afrobeat songs where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a vibe. Like, I like some of the WizKid stuff, and there wasn't a heavy American influence. But I think when it goes deep into it and heavy into it, like I remember one track on the album that I just kind of shut off on. I think that was the last track on My Way. That was the one track I really liked. I couldn't stand.
It's kind of hard for I think African artists to go mainstream, because I feel like there is that barrier when it comes to accents and people that aren't really invested into African culture, kind of don't really understand it. There is a barrier there for African artists. I do feel bad for them.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, and I want to make more of an effort to try and listen to more stuff. And I think by repetition, I'll be able to maybe appreciate it more.
Ollie's saying that he's opening himself up to torture. I respect it.
I think the issue is there's a disconnect, and sometimes I like to relate to at least something in the music, and I can't relate. Generally speaking, I can't relate to anything in the music, which is why the tracks of the American artists I like. I reckon.
You know what it might be, honestly? I think maybe you've just heard a lot of substandard, or not substandard, but just the thing with Afrobeats, and we were talking about this earlier, is that it can get repetitive. It can all sound the same, and it can be really jarring. So I think, for example, if I go to a club and they're playing Afrobeats, honestly, I get bored after a bit. I really do. And I think maybe you've listened to a lot of boring, repetitive Afrobeats type tunes. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. I think you might be right. I feel like you guys need to make me a playlist of the creme de la creme. Decent
tunes.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible that it's just not that good as well.
Yeah,
but anyway,
at the same time, if you look at reggae, there's a lot of beats which sound very similar, or people spit over the same beat. But I never get bored of reggae. I can play it literally all day. But
yeah, then that does go back to what Manny was saying about, your tastes, and it's some things being acquired, I grew up listening to reggae. I grew up listening to West African music. So for me, all of these sounds are familiar, and I like it sometimes when they intersect, overlap, all of that. Maybe for you, it just is an acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? It's just not for you. Simple.
Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation. No, it's interesting. I feel I don't have a comeback for it. It is what it is. Everyone has different tastes, but it's just such a weird thing, because obviously when I hear Afrobeats, I just hear the flavor. I hear the jollof rice. I see and feel the dance music, the zonto, the different vibes.
Man, you say that when you listen to Afrobeats, you get hungry.
Yeah, because it's all culture.
Do you know what? Yeah, you just said something, man.
that.
You just said something. I feel like I relate every single Afrobeat song to that dreadful Horizontal song.
And I think that's what it is. I'm not going to lie.
Understand
because
that song was... Oh, God.
But then that song, I understand your pain because that song was everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a new sound like that people had never heard before, and they just wanted it. I remember that summer. I remember you couldn't escape it.
It got to me as well.
Mate, if you went to Costco on a Saturday, you would see loads of people playing that song, like when they're walking out the warehouse with their trolleys, with what I can imagine is ingredients for jollof rice, because it was loads of tomato sauce. Like chopped tomatoes, and you would just see them like playing the song from their phone and doing the dance. And it was like, no disrespect, no racism, but it was traumatizing as hell. There was that song, and there was a Oliver Twist song. Those two songs.
The band, yeah.
Ollie loved that song, low key. Ollie, you loved it, didn't you? That was your song.
No, do you know what? Yeah,
I remember. Because this is like uni times. Yeah, I remember all the girls used to call you Oliver Twist. I remember that.
I could not stand it. One time I
used to love that. All the girls were saying that.
I was left work one time because one of the supervisors kept saying it. I was just like, put me in a different department. I'm not working with you today. I couldn't stand it, bro.
Was it that
It's a lie.
But wait, Ollie, that was karma for you mocking all the African kids back in the day.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
that's
it. Karma.
It might well be.
But to be honest, I agree with you. I get what you're saying. And the funny thing is, on this particular project, I found there were only 2 songs that I really liked that I'd listened to again and again. And the top one for me was Tanana. And one of the reasons I loved it so much is it reminds me of like an evening in Accra when there's like this really nice warm breeze, and it just had that vibe to it like back home that I just really appreciated. It was transported. Like, what's the word? If it takes you somewhere,
transportive,
like
transcendent.
I don't know, but it was that. It was really cool.
It fed your imagination. Anyway, cool. So let me give my review. I'm not racist like Oliver, so I quite like African people.
You can't just throw it out there and say it.
Music.
I have many African friends. You can't just throw that. On my name.
I've got more African friends than you got African friends.
That's not.
You both sound more racist when you say that.
That's not a good thing to say.
You both sound more racist when you say that.
I can't be racist. I've got African friends. Okay. Anyway.
Wow.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's like one of the companies that say we're all inclusive. We hire black people too. That's exactly what matters.
I might need to speak to HR. You know.
I am HR.
I am HR.
Anyway, I like the album, but my only criticism of the album was that it was a bit samey, but also it really felt like I was listening to a soundtrack for a Disney movie. I mean, in disrespect, but that's how it sounded. Like, even so, the lyrics were adult, explicit. The general sound was very light and, you know what I mean, lighthearted and not kiddified, but you know what I mean. You can just imagine some of the songs being sing-along songs for a Disney movie. Anyway,
any Disney movie in particular?
Yes, Benny, you know which one.
I want you to say it. Expose yourself.
Say it with your chest, bro.
It felt like the Lion King. I felt like I was young Simba listening to the soundtrack for the Lion King.
God.
And you know what? I just can't wait to be king. Anyway.
Oh my god.
I did actually like some of the songs I liked on the album.
Can you feel the Afro beats tonight?
You know what? I can. I feel it, and you know what? I can taste the jollof. Anyway, I like Very Special. I liked Shopping Spree with Chris Brown. That was a good song. Tanana was a good song as well. And I quite like Maybe with McGee's. I don't know who that is, to be honest with you, but I did like the song. I was surprised by how well Lil Baby did on the song So Crazy. I didn't think the song was very good, but it was a very different sound to what Lil Baby
it was. I agree with you there.
So I think he did pretty well on that. But I also quite like Birthday Cake, and I like the way that Nas related his verse back to Africa, back to Nigeria in particular. The closing of the album was very good. The last last 4 tracks were very good. I enjoyed that. I thought it was a solid album. Whereas Ollie said he didn't like it. Like I said, I did have my thing about it feeling a bit kiddified, but apart from that, it was a good album.
Oh, you redeemed yourself there, Matt. You're not as bad as Ollie, but it's still terrible.
Of course not, man. Of course not. Never done.
Listen, I gave shout-outs to a very good Afrocentric album. So I'm gonna take pride in that.
We're gonna give her moment. This is Davido's moment, yeah. So let's focus on that. All right, cool. So everyone's giving.
Sorry. Can I say one more thing though? One more thing that I want to say is that on the track, what track is it again? Shopping Spree. I really just got that whole chop my money sort of vibe from that, man. Like it took me back to my uni days. Was it uni days? Yeah, it was uni days. Yeah, it really.
Matt was balling in uni. He had the 40-inch Samsung, the Xbox, and the PlayStation. He had everything. He had 2 beats, 2 phones. We used to call him Kevin Gates before Kevin Gates.
I was living comfortably in uni. It was a good time, but it just took me back to that. Anyway, so yeah, pick up Davido, man. He delivered.
He definitely delivered. So what's everyone's shout songs again? Shopping spree so far.
Shopping spree.
Mine's Birthday Cake.
Birthday Cake for me, then.
Mine was Tanana.
Okay.
That was my number 1 tune.
So Birthday Cake, then it is, because me and Nafi got different tracks. You and Ali are in sync today.
So Davido overall got how many ears?
I said, sorry, we haven't even get it.
We haven't done it. Okay.
Yeah, 3 for me.
3 for me.
I give it a 2.
So is it a 3 then?
I think so.
I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 3.
Yeah, redeem yourself.
I think I gave
with too generous.
I think I gave my 3. Yeah, so I was 2 at 3.
It's not. It's not really bad. It's an.
I can see why it would be a 3. It's just I can't relate to some of the tracks, and I think 3 is fair.
I think 2 is fair, to be honest, and I like Afro beats, but I only enjoyed 2 of the songs on this.
Do you know what? Afro, you convinced me to 2.
Honestly,
I don't understand what's going on.
Don't let them push you. Don't let them push you. Stand 10 toes in it.
Is this some sort of Ghana Nigeria beef going on here?
Right.
No, all it is I just think this album was not that great. 2 tracks were brilliant. The rest, so.
And all of mine were American influences apart from 1.
Which was like a huge chunk of the album. You liked a huge chunk of the album.
Wait. How long is the album? It's 16 tracks, right? No, 17, and I like 5.
I like 2.
Just to be clear though, Afia, you feel that it's below standard, yeah?
No, I just think that Afrobeat projects should just not be that long. Full stop. I'm sorry, quality over quantity. I remember a time when West African music was very much quality over quantity, and I think it's just become a bit much now.
It's been westernized.
It's just always trying to meet this demand, whereas back in the day...
I don't know.
You know.
Afi is one of those people that doesn't like it because it's gone mainstream. I used to like it back in the day, not anymore.
If there's any Ghanaians out there listening, you know this tune, right? Bois con contiba. Anyway.
She can't sing either, unfortunately.
Wow.
You don't know. Come on.
Wow.
Next. Next one.
Dropping those old school.
You know it, right?
Right? Let's do K-Trap.
Wait. Before we go, I have to, because you guys won't get the context, yeah? So, You know those songs when you go to like your auntie's party And then the aunties are just dancing in the corner to this old school like Sanchez, or Sanchez for Jamaicans, really.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
I can say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that she just dropped like a lovers rock type track there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
If that was a Lovers Rock track, then fucking hell, mate, that's a bit slow. Come on,
You're a bad man, bruv. You're a bad man.
I think this is the thing, though. There is that
for me, yeah, like when I'm thinking Lovers Rock track, like, I'm thinking like slow whining, slower moves. Yeah,
we have some of those as well. We've got this guy called Daddy Lumba. I'll send you some links.
Yeah, man, send them.
I need to understand the context of it you guys were created, because like I need to know what sort of music was being played in the background, because it couldn't have been Afro beats, could it? Come on, that's too high tempo.
All right. Anyway, next.
Let's move on to the next one, bro.
Let's do K-Trap. Let's do K-Trap.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll stop.
No, continue.
Racist.
I'm happy that you've all seen his true colours.
My true colours, they're always on show.
Alright, let's do K-Trap.
Let's do it. Who's going to lead us into it?
Raphael.
Yeah.
So, who are we discussing? K-Trap.
Yeah.
Okay. I found the whole thing really enjoyable. It was a great project. A lot of lyrical depth and in concise bars as well. I really enjoy when you get someone who can give you lyrical depth, but it's not like, do you know what I mean? It's just concise and to the point and everything. And I just enjoyed the flow of the whole project from one tune to the next. I was impressed by it. I'd give it like, I just think, because he's a similar age and in a similar place in his career to Salieu, I assume. Am I wrong? Do you all know?
I don't know how old he is, but he does have a baby face when you look at him in pictures and stuff. So probably.
Well, I didn't think it was as good as Salieu's, but I really enjoyed the storytelling. It was a good project overall.
So I want to point out one thing. This album art is actually mad creative. So the album's called Street Side Effects. So naturally, it would be some sort of pharmaceutical drug as the album art. But what people may not notice is it says 16 doses, which is like your standard amount of tablets for any sort of prescription. But there's also 16 tracks. So each track is a different dose.
Mind blown.
And each track gives you a different side effect for the K-Trap drug that he's shotting. So I just want to shout out that. And that creativity there flows through the album.
Yeah.
Like the first track, it just hit me in my chest.
Yeah.
Let me paint the picture for you guys.
Oh shit, the socks are coming off, guys. The socks are coming off.
Let me paint a picture for you. I was in Tunbridge Wells. Don't ask me why I was in Tunbridge Wells, but I was whipping down a private road.
Why were you in Tunbridge Wells?
The houses were gargantuan in size. The first track comes on, and I'm just thinking, I bet some of these guys listen to K-Trap. I bet some of these guys have moved serious weight to get these houses. My socks didn't come off because I was driving, but if I was in my bed listening to this, best believe they would have. It's a really good album, man. Like, it's a really good album. My standout song was one with Fredo. I'm not really a Fredo fan, but when he features on a track, I always find that he delivers. Is it Fredo or Fredo? I feel like it's Fredo.
It's Fredo, man. It's Fredo.
Fredo's a chocolate, innit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen. The Blade Bound track was sick as well. It's just a really good album from start to finish. But my standout was Lessons with Wretch. Because my boy Wretch always delivers. And I don't feel
always delivers. Wretch is crazy.
And I don't feel like K-Trap got washed on the track. I feel like he stood his own. But obviously it's Wretch, and Wretch is out here and he's doing his thing. But the album is actually mad creative. I'm not really into like drug music and stuff, but I like this little spin he put on this, and I can't relate to it, but I relate to this album. If you get what I'm saying, a bit of an oxymoron.
Well, you can't relate to being in a bundle 3 o'clock in the morning whipping out what?
Listen, man's trap line does not exist. My trap line is my work number that I shut off at 6 p.m. I'll be the worst trap star in the world, man.
Do you know what I have to say I really appreciated is that the beats, though they were really good, didn't overpower his flow either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I really enjoyed that because they're very decent beats, but his flow, it just went with it so well, and it didn't drown him out, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
He's not the most aggressive rapper, but it didn't do that.
100%. And I just feel like everything was like calculated with that decision making. And I actually prefer this to Salieu's album. I just felt like as a whole, I just felt like it was more polished.
He does have a very distinctive sound. I noticed that as well. Yeah. I think I'd have to give it another listen because I'm a big Salieu fan, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your comments. I agree with you. Yeah.
And I want to actually never mind. It's just a really good album. Really, really good.
Okay, I guess I'll go next then. For me, I really did actually enjoy the album, but I feel like there's some things I have to say that I believe is true of K-Chap, of this album at least, with K-Chap. If you're looking for like crazy metaphors or similes, they're not going to be in this album. If you're looking for complex rhyme schemes, they're not going to be in this album. If you're looking for multisyllabic rhymes, they're not going to be in this album. If you're looking for street stories, they are here in abundance. If you're looking for I don't know how you put it, a young man's truth for the world that he sees around him, they're here in abundance. And I feel like he really tells a story throughout the project that is captivating and just seems so honest and brutal and true. Now, I really enjoyed the album despite it not being the sort of sound that I prefer. I really am someone that likes to break down rhymes and hear the double entendres and all that sort of stuff, and it's not really here. Everything is everything is as it says on the tin with this project. There's no Da Vinci Code in it, if you know what I mean. But it's just really good. I just really enjoyed it. And like Ollie said, he's on the song with Rich. I would say Rich ban him personally, but that's just because the way Rich raps. It's more how I like it to be. But K-Chap did very well. He held his own, and I feel like he should be very proud of this project. It's very solid effort, and it's an album that I'll be playing. It'll be in my playlist. Many songs of the album will be on my playlist, and I'll probably be spinning the album itself quite a few times.
Oh, that's fair.
For
me, sorry.
No, sorry. The one thing I'll say is the one thing I will say that I was a bit disappointed with is Giggs. His verse was not very good. I thought it was quite weak, in fact. My standout song was Lessons by Rich 32, sorry. And I also have to say that I was really enjoying the first 12 tracks of the album. But then when D-Block Era came on with Bentayga, oh my god, I really didn't like it. I didn't. And then I think the next song after that, K-Chap was using that auto-tune as well to sing. I was like, don't do that. It's not good. But yeah, apart from that, I did enjoy.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That those two tracks were a bit of a leave it. The album was better without them.
Indeed.
The thing with D-Block is they have this magic, like I just don't know what it is. Again, this is where I feel like I'm a bit old, because people love D-Block Europe, and it's just...
I just genuinely think, like in all seriousness, I feel like I feel like the younger generation don't appreciate all the aspects of making good music. That's the only thing I could think, because let me give you an example, right? Back in the day, you'd usually have a rapper that would every now and then would collaborate with a singer, because the rapper can't sing. So you'd have a singer sing the hook. But nowadays, that doesn't happen. Rappers will just sing the hook themselves with auto-tune. And their voice is obviously shit. But like, see with T-Pain, for example, his auto-tune sounded really good, but it turns out the guy could actually sing the whole time. He didn't need auto-tune. Now, when you have someone that can't sing and does auto-tune, it doesn't sound good, or at least not to me. But for some people, apparently, that sound is like crack because they love it. So I don't get it. But for me, I'd much rather hear a lot more situations where you have a rapper and a singer collaborating rather than having all this really bad auto-tune.
No, that's fair. I guess it's me next, right? So K-Trap, yeah, he's a talented rapper. I enjoyed this effort, and again, I was unaware of his ability before, but I was pleasantly surprised by his storytelling ability on this track. However, I do wish there was more songs like the intro scattered throughout the album, because that intro was hard.
The intro was crazy. Intro was hard, very hard.
Like, to the point where he himself, like, points out, like, oh, I'm shocked that I've even wrote these lyrics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's got that talent there, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see him do more of those sort of tracks. The features were all right. Matt, you touched upon like the gigs. It wasn't Hollow Man. It was just normal gigs on this one. Why are you guys laughing at Hollow Man? If you laugh at
No, but it's true though. It's true.
He'll turn up in your house.
And this is the same thing that we said last week though as well. That when he's had the opportunity to like step up and go hard or something, he doesn't do it. So obviously, I'm not saying that this was a big opportunity for him, but I just think to myself that there are times when you just wanted the really big gigs first, and he didn't come through with it. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, he's not being consistent 100%. His consistency level should be a lot higher than your.
Yeah, but it's like Giggs is a veteran of this game. Like, at the end of the day, it's a feature for him. It's not like, I feel like with Giggs, yeah, something has to excite him for him to bring his best. Does that make sense? Like a Dave track, jumping on that will probably excite him. K-Trap's new, like he hasn't earned that probable respect just yet. So Giggs ain't gonna give 110. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a weird one. But I'm not to speak for Giggs. I don't know what his frame of mind is. That's just my observation. But going back to the album, another feature that I was really impressed with, Millions. I like this guy's flow, man. Like, he's got like a fast-paced flow. Like, his lyrics are like good. I really like Millions. I think he's got a long future ahead of him. So, did you guys like that track as well?
Yeah, I did. I think Millions is just dropping gems whenever he drops someone's song, and his own as well.
Cool. What else was I going to say? I think that's pretty much sums everything I wanted to say. Street Side Effects, the intro or Pour It Up, my standout songs. I think it was a very solid effort. I'll give it a 3, but this guy definitely has potential to come back with like a 4 going forward.
Yeah, I think for me, I give it a 3 as well. I think this project is solid, but I don't think it's deserving of a 4 or anything higher. Definitely not lower either. It's a solid 3.
Yeah, it's a 3 for me as well, dog.
Oh.
So I think that's a unanimous 3.
Oh, I really thought you were going to come number 1 there.
No. Wait, who are we talking about? K-Trap?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.
But you didn't ask what sort of 3 it was, minus or positive?
I think
I don't know what to say. I think it's just a 3 for me. It wouldn't be either. It's just done with it.
I want to hear more from this guy. So,
Yeah, same.
Yeah, no, that's good. All right, cool. Guys, break up a bit. Like,
before you go, man. Before you go, sorry.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I was going to say, that we need to talk about some hot news that's like popped off this week.
Okay, I've got some news for you right now, which I've just seen just right now. They've released a deluxe version of what was it, Baby Pluto, whatever it's called, Pluto X Baby Pluto.
Oh,
so we can all be really excited to go and listen to that then, yeah? Awesome. Lovely. So yeah, you can listen to Future and Lil Uzi Vert. Again, guys.
I swear people just buy into the hype far too much.
I feel like the deluxe should
too
come
much.
out like a few months later when people have gotten like
I
tired.
don't get it. Why are you doing
2 days
everything
later.
like that? Yeah, deluxe though. Like, what the hell? It makes no
Yeah.
sense. Like, back in the day, deluxe has come out like a year later,
Yeah.
or at least 6 months later. This whole 2 days later deluxe thing is stupid.
Or
So
deluxe
stupid.
was just like the regional tracks just pumped into it. So you know, like when you have an album, you have like unique tracks for Australia, Japan, all of that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
The deluxe would just be like a combination of all those tracks plus a couple other sprinkles on top. Anyway,
I prefer when a deluxe is something like the songs have come out and then some of them spawn remixes and stuff like that. So those remixes are then put in to the
yeah,
album. I like that. But this whole 2 days later we've got a deluxe version is just silly.
it's nonsense.
There's no. I just read it. There's nothing. There's like a couple of more tracks on there, but if it's more of no features, if it's more of what we've just heard.
Do you know what? I believe that this is done because of streaming. So that you get an initial when you release your album, everyone streams it, and then you get like about 3 or 4 days of streaming. And then you do the deluxe, and everyone streams the whole album again, plus those extra tracks. And so you basically get essentially 2 releases in 1 week, and then inflation.
They probably like combine into one, so it probably boosts the
Yeah, it will
album
be
sales.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happens.
Interesting.
So that's what they're aiming to get number 1, probably.
Yeah, it's a good tactic, especially since bundling is out of the door now. So you're probably going to see this tactic more.
Probably.
All right, cool. Sorry, I wanted to just talk. Did you guys watch that viral clip that went around today?
Of 2 men having a little scuffle or
A little disagreement, a gentleman's disagreement.
gentleman's disagreement lost 30,000 feet in the air.
I just thought that was like, I don't know about you, I just thought that was like mad weird to see. Like at this point, like in the artists we're talking about, Tion Wayne and Heady One, at this point in your careers, right? Like you can't be fighting on planes. Like you probably both got first class tickets on these flights to Dubai when everyone's stuck at home.
I don't think they had first class tickets. They look like they were in economy.
No,
Okay,
it was
fair
premium
enough, but,
economy.
like-
Premium economy.
No, no.
That's an important distinction.
That is economy in that airline. They were probably on other Emirates or
It is
Dubai.
premium. Is like
Sorry.
different chairs. It was economy.
It doesn't really matter what class they were flying in. It was just stupid. They looked stupid. It was
You know what I
embarrassing.
mean? It's so embarrassing. The memes are jokes, but it's just the actual behaviour. It's just mad embarrassing. And it's kind of like the optics don't look great for them because, number one, everyone's stuck at home. Number two, you're privileged enough to go out the country and live your best life. And number three, you're 2 black males in the industry that have garnered a large amount of success. No disrespect to like Morrissey. Morrissey did the right thing, but him stepping in, the optics of it all just don't look right because it's kind of like it just shows that it kind of proves people's point when they say,
Are you saying that he looked like a white savior?
yeah, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like all of that. And again, no disrespect. He did the right thing, but all of that the optics of it all just is messy. Like it's messy. Do you guys? Am I on jumping off a cliff here by myself?
I
Yes,
wonder,
but I watched you on the way down.
Yeah.
do grime artists get they must get some training for PR situation?
Nah,
do they
they
not
don't.
get anything like that? Because that might be an issue.
I don't think that these guys would get that because of the fact that you can't give these guys media training in the sense that what are they meant to do? Forget about where they come from and say,
Well,
being
a lot
trained
of
not
people do. They do, but that's the thing.
Not in
Obviously,
rap.
if they do, then they don't have the product. So
I can't think of one rapper who's been successful in the gangster rap sort of scenario that's continued to be successful after forgetting where they come from.
Well, that's what. But even that, calling it like forgetting, what does that mean? You forget where you come from. You don't forget. You're just not there anymore.
My understanding is that their beef is related to where they come from.
Absolutely. So, I just think it's really stupid.
It's on site, isn't it? Whatever happens, it's always going to be on site.
Stupid. Did you say they're from North London?
Oh, they're not from South.
Well, wherever in London they're from, you look stupid.
Okay, look here. Look here, let me say this one thing, guys. Those are Afia's views, so not mine.
Yeah, and I stand 10 toes in it. Who was it?
Don't come for us.
Who was it? Heady one.
And Tion Wayne.
Yeah, you both look stupid.
Wow, okay.
Anyway, next one.
She's jumping out the window now, guys, but okay. What's the next bit of news?
Oh, what?
Didn't Lowski had a video with Stormzy, right?
Yeah, I haven't listened to it because I don't want to. That project's coming out this week, I think.
Okay, you don't want
to listen to all of it.
I get that. I did watch the video. The video is quite entertaining. It's a good video. But yeah, I get what you're saying, man. I do like to have my first hearing of a song as part of the project rather than hearing it as a single.
And then there was some news about Lil Wayne.
Oh my God, this guy is an idiot.
So he got caught with a firearm and ammunition. So if found guilty, he's going to go back in prison.
Do you know, I'm glad you brought Lil Wayne up, by the way.
The car said he's going to come out.
No, because I was watching a clip today from 50 Cent. Did you know 50 Cent got offered $1 million to endorse Trump?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was talking about that today, and then I think it was Charlemagne. He was like, "What do you think? Do you think Lil Wayne was paid as well?" And 50 was like, "Yeah, probably," because they actually go out. Because recently he took a picture of Trump wearing a jumper and a t-shirt and like
looking like Carlton Banks
trousers. Yeah. And ridiculous. Like, so he's got the hotline to the White House. So hopefully, Trump will do him a solid before he gets kicked out of the Oval Office.
I mean, by the time anything will be processed properly, Biden will be in. If you think about it. So
Trump ain't gonna help Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne ain't gonna help himself either. Lil Wayne's an idiot. Like one of my mates today said to me that this thing of Lil Wayne being caught with a gun is similar to what happened with T.I. And I'm like, nah, it's not the same at all, because when T.I. got caught with a gun, T.I. was actually planning to go to war with people. He wasn't caught with little guns. He was caught with a whole arsenal of machine guns. It's a very different thing.
Wait. I watched an interview from him saying it was a setup where his security.
It was a setup. The FBI set him up, not the police.
Yeah,
the FBI. It's the next level.
But wasn't he buying guns? Wasn't it? The whole narrative was a setup, innit? About the FBI getting the security guards saying they need guns. They need to buy specific guns from a specific place, and then he actually cottoned on, but he couldn't really. It's an interesting interview. If you can find it, it's a good one.
My point is, that Lil Wayne's an idiot at his age now. If he needs security, he just pays some security. You don't need to walk around with a gun yourself. He's a very rich man.
I don't know. Can he afford security right now? Did he get his money yet?
He got his money in the end, but Baby never paid him. The record label paid him.
Did he ever get his money?
He got the money. Universal paid him.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Yeah, he could afford security.
Exactly.
Prayers up for Jeremiah as well, isn't it?
It's so bad.
Yeah,
but anyway.
America's just ridiculous with the lack of respect for COVID-19. By the way, you guys, because I actually don't know your stance with COVID-19 in this group, are you guys like conspiracy theorists with COVID-19, or do you actually like believe that you have to protect yourself and others?
We clearly need to. COVID-19 is clearly real. We clearly need to protect ourselves, but obviously some people are more at risk of this than others. It's that simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've pretty much been at home consistently since it started, except for a few times I've been places, but that's it.
See, I think that's the issue. What's bugging me people is that they feel like because they can't get it, that they should forget about it. But
it's not.
What about your parents?
Yeah,
What about your grandparents? What about your cousins? Whatever.
Yeah.
Not everyone's the same.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Yeah, but going back to Jeremiah, like I'm not sure in what circumstances he caught the virus, but his situation is quite serious because he's reportedly on a ventilator, and usually when you're on a ventilator, it's really difficult, to be. But what I will say though, 50% did say that he's in a better position now. So okay, good.
Yeah, he's on the up now at least, so it's looking like he will survive, which is great to hear. Because you know what, that guy makes some really good music.
Yeah.
Even if it's not necessarily his song which he's making, but when he's on someone else's song, it always sounds amazing.
Can I just step in and say that we are all sending our warmest wishes to Jeremiah. We hope he gets better very soon, not just because he makes great music, but
that is the main reason.
Oh my days.
That is not rude.
No.
What? That is not rude. Hold on. Do we know Jeremiah for anything else?
Well, he's a
To be fair,
person.
Matt's got a point. He's got a point.
Exactly.
I mean,
like, if he wasn't famous, we would shout him out.
He's a gaddis.
Well, all right, go on then.
I just like he performed at Digital in Brighton one time, and he didn't get VIP.
Yeah.
Do you remember the upstairs part of Digital where you can like oversee into the club?
Yeah.
After he finished, he was just sitting there and just like moving to girls.
Did you hear about the singing of him a couple years ago? He was on tour with another artist. I think it was Party Next Door, but I'm not sure. But it was someone else of a similar sort of level as him, and he was annoyed that he wasn't getting the top billing. So he basically he paid someone else to be an imposter, basically. So he wasn't going to the shows anymore. Someone else was dressing up as him and just like performing the backing vocals. It was so funny, man. I've never heard of anything like this before, but it is so funny.
It's mad petty, man.
It's so funny, man. I had to find the link for it and share it with you guys. It's so funny.
Anyway, prayers up for Jeremiah.
Yeah, for real, boy. We need you to come back because we like your Christmas albums that you do with Chainz as well.
Jeez.
I'm not joking. Those are sick, bro. You man.
Listen.
By the way, next month we got to do like a review of just Christmas albums.
I'm not
like that is really sick.
Oh God, no.
Are you mad? Do you know how much good stuff comes at Christmas?
No.
Right. Calm down. Pump your brakes.
The Soul Tape was an example of that. All three of them came out around Christmas time.
Ooh.
Oh, exactly. Oh. And don't forget Destiny's Child's Christmas album.
Okay.
And Mariah Carey's one. Okay, and like I just said, Chainz and Jeremiah have one as well.
And Christina Aguilera's, I suppose.
Has she got one too? I want to hear that.
You're fueling the fire, I feel. You're fueling it.
It's just terrible, isn't it? Oh my God.
Wait.
Okay, so that's coming next month, guys. Look forward to it.
Ever one, Justin Bieber.
He got a Christmas album.
Hell yeah.
If he does.
Are you not being serious? You actually have to listen to Christmas albums soon. Is this?
Yes.
Do you know what? I
really want to do this.
Ludacris has one of the best Christmas songs ever, and for a period.
Not song, album. Must be album.
I know.
Brown, right? He makes them too.
It was a sick song. I used to bang that song every year for a period of time.
No,
I just like these channel talks at Christmas. Oh, I love that shit, bro.
No, I love DMX's and Rudolph the Red-Nosed.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Shiny nose.
Every Christmas I listen to that. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, but we're doing that. We're doing that next month. So look out for it, guys. Look out for it.
Okay, cool. Last but not least, there's been some shootings. Pow. Philip pop.
What are you doing?
I know
Ollie loved it. Ollie, you loved it. Start, Ollie.
What, love what?
The album.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about Benny the Butcher and Boosie getting shot up?
Yeah.
Going straight into it? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Let's do that one then.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so Benny Butcher and go on. You can eat it.
Yeah, so Benny the Butcher got shot. It was over like a robbery attempt, and Lil Uzi's bus got sprayed up, apparently. So
Oh, thanks for all this insight, man.
yeah, man, it's quite, I'm speeding through.
Okay.
I want to get
My understanding is this way. Benny's one was an attempted robbery, but I think with Benny, I'm not going to say he's naive because I'm sure he's not, but I think sometimes rappers believe that they got a bit more love than they actually do have. You can be very much loved in your city, you go somewhere else and people don't give a shit. Like you have big rappers that have come to London, for example, and got robbed. Not because not because someone hates them, just because they can rob them. So why not? So I think that's probably what happened to Benny in this case. That's a shame, but hopefully he's well soon. With Lil Boozy, it's a bit different. He was actually in Texas to show some support for one of his friends that died, who's also a rapper called Lil Mo, or Mo, something like that. And so that guy was obviously shot dead, murdered, and it seems like it's possible that Lil Boozy's shooting had something to do with that. It's not normal for someone to just spray up a bus. That means they were trying to kill someone, or at least send a message. It wasn't a robbery. So yeah, that's really something that was going on there. But the good thing is that he's fine.
America, look after your hip hop stars, man. Stop shooting them up. Allow it. We don't want another King Vaughn episode. It's just long.
But I feel like you say this, but at the same time, we have to accept and understand that a lot of these guys are gangsters before they're rappers. They're gangster rappers, not rapper gangsters. You know what I mean? So, like, if that's the life you live, then that's the life you live, innit? Like, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
But like, for example, I hate it. Like, obviously, Nipsey Hussle, when he passed away, that's one of my favorite rappers. Like, I really felt that one. But Nipsey's a Crip, and although he had a lot of love in his area, there was obviously someone that really hated him. And for whatever reason, Nipsey felt he didn't need to wear any bulletproof vest. He didn't need to have a security with him. To be fair, it was somewhere that he thought was very safe, but he still got out. With Pop Smoke, I think was a Crip as well, but although he's from New York, and his shit was apparently gang related as well when he was killed. So yeah, it's all very long, but I guess if you live in that life, you just make sure that you're always protected at all times.
True that. Cool. So, birthday. It's your birthday. Who wants to, that song? Who sings that one?
2 Chainz.
Exactly. Who wants to lead this one?
Go on, Afia.
I just didn't like it.
I'm so happy.
Do you like music?
I'm so happy you went first because that is blasphemy.
No,
Do you like music,
I didn't like it. I couldn't get into it. I'm gonna give it another listen at some point, and I will try again. But I tried twice, just not for me.
Okay.
Oh no, I lied. There were a couple of songs on there that were decent. Let's see if I can remember. No, I can't remember. I have to listen to it again. That's it, really. You lot can review this one.
So, 2 Chainz, I feel like dropped a dope album. It had really strong beats on here, good lyrics. A few singles that will be in my heavy rotation, such as like Quarantine Thick. I was also surprised by like the amount of somber tunes on the album. I thought it was just gonna be all Atlanta, dollar bills, strip club music, but it wasn't. There was quite a few somber tracks on there that I quite liked. One of them being Wait to Die, where he spits a lot of facts about like how the music industry leeches off like dead artists. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then how like fans feed into that sort of frenzy by raising people up once they've gone. It's quite sickening, to be honest. But yeah, and Vampire too. I really like Vampire. It was a well balanced effort, very balanced. Something if you look at another Atlanta native, T.I.'s album wasn't as balanced as this effort for me. So yeah, but yeah. So strip club tunes, somber tunes, nice up and down vibe. It's just solid, nice listen, really. My shout out song, Grey Area or Wait for You to Die. Matt, Ollie?
So, I really liked the album, and I'm also a massive T-Pain fan. T-Pain? 2 Chainz, sorry. 2 Chainz fan. For me, his best album to date has been Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, but I feel like this album has finally surpassed like the high bar that one set. It starts off strong, and it just goes from strength to strength. I love saying that sentence. It's a really well put together album. I don't think there's a single bad track on it, and there are some amazing tracks that really stand out, like Southside Hove. That track is just it's just something special. I don't want to talk about the theme. It's just something you have to go and listen to. Tony is sick. It's got a mad sample. That song's sick. Moneymaker, that song is sick, and Wayne delivers a fire verse. It's a really, really good album. There's not a single bad thing about it. It was probably my favorite album of the week as well. I just loved it. I loved it.
That's a really nice tribute to the album, there, Ollie. I really enjoyed the album as well. I think it's a really good one. I have high expectations whenever 2 Chainz releases now. Like, he's been on a run of just dropping quality projects for a while. Sometimes his EPs aren't so good, but in terms of actual full-length projects, they are very good at all times. And I feel like although 2 Chainz came to prominence later, he comes from an era of rappers from the South that they didn't necessarily get given their dues, their respect, their props for their lyrical ability, because they come from a time when rappers from the South were considered to be less able to be lyricists. So I'm talking about him, talking about T.I., talking about, I guess talking about Ludacris as well, but I feel like Ludacris never quite got put in that same sort of category. But yeah, for the most part, that's the sort of people I'm talking about. And he just delivers, man. The sample on Moneymaker is probably one of the best like hip hop samples of all time, in the sense that it's one of the most popular ones. He carries on so many songs.
Yeah.
The featured artists are all pretty good. I think there's probably only one featured artist that I don't particularly like on there. I'm surprised that Ollie's not laughing. Ollie should be laughing. That gives it away. Quarantine kick with Mulatto. Like, Mulatto's really grown on me. Like, when she first came out, I didn't really think much of her. I just thought she's gonna be like another sexy girl that's rapping, but hasn't really got any skill. But she can actually rap. She can do. She's actually decent. I do like her. She's not as good as like what Nicki Minaj was when she first came out, but she can. She's good. She's better than some of her peers. But yeah, my favorite song is "Wait for You to Die." I think the lyrics, the beat, the just the whole situation around that song, the scenario, the aura around it. I really just like that song a lot, and it blends well into the final track 55 times. So yeah, I really do like the album. It's a really solid one, and it's nothing less than what I expect from T-Boy.
Yeah, I think my standout was Southside Hove. I feel like that was a really, really good track.
There's probably that's one of those songs I really liked as well. That had one, as I mentioned, was probably Moneymaker.
Yeah.
On Quarantine 6. Like, there's a few good songs on this album.
And Tony.
And even the ones that aren't great, they're still good songs. So
what did you think of like the somber tracks?
That is Wait for You to Die, no? That's probably the most somber track. Yeah, that's my favourite. That's my standout song.
I feel like 55 times is quite a good one as well. That's quite somber.
It is, yeah. It is. It's a proper slow down at the end of the album, because the album starts off really fast, like Lambo Wrist. That's like a proper hype track. But yeah, it slows down towards the end, but it's fitting. It goes really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I guess that's it really in terms of albums, unless
No, it's not.
We got to rate
got-
it as well. We got to
We've
rate
got,
it.
okay, yeah, but
Alright,
who got
cool,
another
cool.
album to go as well?
Which one's the last one? Is it A. Marie?
We didn't do some memories of
Oh, of course. Yes,
Yeah.
go.
So I'm giving 2 Chainz a 4. I feel like it's like the strongest a 4 can be as well.
Okay, ready?
Cool.
Me and say Manny, sorry.
I'll give it a 3.
Afia, are you
But
feeling?
it could be.
I'm
It
not
could
involved
be
in this one. I don't think I can. I need to listen to it again. I think.
Okay.
I just.
I think that Ollie's right. I think a 3 is fitting. I don't think it's like a top level 4. Sorry, a 4 is fitting. I don't think it's a top level 4. I don't think it's
what is going
almost a
on
5.
there?
No, I think it's a 4 though. It is a 4.
Okay, cool.
Ollie thinks it should almost be a 5, but it's a 4. It's a 4.
Okay.
So,
Do you think it's better than T.I.'s effort?
no, I don't actually know. So I'm saying I don't think it is better than T.I.'s effort, but I think that T.I.'s effort, like I said to you earlier today in the group, if we were to what happened today, right, guys? I went back and looked through all of the ratings that we've given all of our reviews over the years, and I've collated a list of albums that got each rating. And I deduced from that maybe T.I.'s album and Benny the Butcher's album shouldn't have been 5s, they should have been 4s. But both of them
It takes a big man to recognise.
yeah, that's fine because like I said, it's moderation. But I've been saying this. I've been saying this on a few of the other podcasts that sometimes we've been rating things too high or too low in comparison to other reviews that we've done. So I'm happy to say that that's fine. But I think that this album does fit with those other albums in terms of quality. And yeah, this is his second album that he's done to this level, with the other one being Pretty Girls Love Trap Music. Yeah. But it's a good album and deserves its rating. So should we move on to Salam Mami?
Yeah, let's do it.
Seeing how Afia didn't give a review for the last project, she can start with this one.
I actually thought this was so thought-provoking as a project that I need more time to listen to it, to fully take it on board. I enjoyed it, but I need more time because it is that thought-provoking.
I think I sort of agree with you here. So I don't know how to rate this album. To start off, I want to say this is probably one of the most important albums of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's an album we need and it's dropped at the right time. I also want to say that I've never listened to an album that has explored so many different sounds with such a polish and a well thought out way of delivering them as this one, at least not to my recollection right now. There's a lot of different sounds, a lot of different vibes, and they're all executed superbly. The message is incredibly strong. There's nothing bad about this album. It uses samples in an extremely clever way. The production is top-notch. The transitions are excellent. The artists that are picked are perfect. Everything has been thought out really well. It's a phenomenal album. It's really good. But with that being said, at the same time, I feel like it's an album that I can't listen to just maybe 1 or 2 tracks. I have to listen to it in its entirety. That's how I feel, just to get like the whole image of the album. And I also feel like it's not an album that you can just spin all the time. I feel like I have to be in the mood to play it.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I know if I'm in the mood to play it, it's going to be the album that I'm going to play. Well, if I'm in that sort of mood, it's going to be an album that I'm going to play. And I'm never going to be disappointed. There was a lot to love, and I was extremely surprised. Even down to the album name, the album art, the track listing, the names of the tracks.
Did you mention the album name, by the way? don't think he did.
No, I did not.
Black on Purpose.
Yeah.
That's right, Black on Purpose, guys.
And the album art is actually mad sick. Like, I'm getting like 60s vibes or something like that. It's anyway. I'm going off another topic, but it's just really good. Like, even if you just look at the track list and look at the features, like track 1 features Malcolm X. That's all you need to know. Literally all you need to know. And it's just really good. I just love it. I love it. It's really good. And the outro as well features Sandra Bland, and that was really powerful to me. Like, there's so much high praise I can give to this album. It's really good. I just don't know how to rate it. But it's just something that's extremely important. People listen to it, especially if you're black. No, not even like that.
I don't think it's even like that. But the reason why I say that is because I feel like music tells stories and it can inform people and it can help them to learn. So I feel like it makes no difference. Are you mocking me?
No, you're copying me.
Are you mocking me? I'm joking, but anyway, it's a Marvel reference. You might not get it. Anyway, I know you got that reference. That's another Marvel reference. Anyway, I feel like it doesn't matter what colour your skin is because you can learn from it.
That's
Manny,
true,
do you want...
especially effective if you're black?
Okay, I hear that. I do hear that. Manny, do you want to jump in here? Or
I agree with what Ollie said. I think he summed it up really well. It was a powerful album. Like, he has a feature from Malcolm X and Sandra Bland. Like, that just goes to already give you the theme of the album. I had to do some research on who he was, and I found out he was a producer for. He's an American record producer, and he's worked with some big name artists. Amy Winehouse being one of them as well from the UK. So, yeah, like, this guy's been working on his craft for so long, so I'm not surprised. But you rarely do get you rarely see producers come out with such masterpieces these days. So it was very, very welcomed. Probably like one of the best albums I've listened to this week.
Cool. That's something that is pretty fitting, I'd say. But what I would like to do, I'd like to give this some context. So with the Who Salami Me, as Manny said, he's a record producer. He's not a singer. He's not a rapper. So in every single track on this album, there's a different featured artist on there. And to give some insight into who Salami Me is, if you listen to Nas and you think of the tracks that have heavy instrumentation on it, I'm thinking songs like Cherry Wine would be one of them, and there's a few others, but it's the ones where it tends to be the heavy instrumentation, like they just sound really pucker. That's Salami Me producing. It's like Salam is like I don't know if it's right to call him a super producer because I don't think his songs have necessarily had the commercial success for him to be considered that. But in terms of the quality, he's definitely one. He's an exquisite, superb, exceptional producer of music. Now, he's essentially recruited a team of people, of singers and rappers to come along and help him put together a collection of songs which are really fitting in his times, and it's clearly been heavily influenced by the whole Black Lives Matter movement that's been going on for the past year or two. Now, the album starts off with an intro from Malcolm X, and I can't think of many albums I've listened to that has got Malcolm X features on it, but here's one. Every single song is on topic of to do with like either Black Power, Black Empowerment, or just general Black Lives Matter. And everyone that's featured, I'm just looking through the names on the list, like every one of them is someone that is pretty reasonably well known, and even some of them are people that are, I would say, maybe from yesteryear. Someone like Supercat. I can't remember the last time I heard this album with Supercat on it, but that was good. It was very good to hear his voice. Dougie Fresh is on here as well, and although Anthony Hamilton isn't that old, I haven't heard anything new from him for a while. At the end of the album, you also hear Sandra Bland's voice, as she is one of the people that was killed, seemingly killed by police in America. It hasn't been proven, but that's what I believe happened.
Same.
But I just really enjoyed the whole project. It's an excellent project, and I think my favorite song was a song which was just a cover version of Reprise, as they call it here, and that's Strange Fruit. And it was done by Betty Wright and James Bracer. But the reason for this is because I didn't know. I heard the song growing up, but when you're young, you don't really take into account what the song's about. And like Strange Fruit, you don't know what the song's about. But
this made me feel sick when I found out as well.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And the thing is, I didn't find out what the meaning of the song was until the song was sampled by somebody else. And yes, it's by my arch nemesis, Kanye West. He sampled the song and made a song that was completely meaningless from it. And then when I found out what the song meant, Strange Fruit, hanging from the, quote unquote, what the tree's called, but hanging from a tree, basically, the song's talking about black people being hung and lynched in America.
Isn't it a poplar tree?
That's it. That's the tree. And yeah, so just the meaning of the song, the lyrics of the song, and the placement right in the middle of this album is just extremely, extremely fitting. Betty Wright and James Bracer did amazing, and I think Nina Simone and herself would be very proud of the job they did on that track. But yes, Salam Ali in general, he just put together a sensational project, and one that I will listen to again. But as Ollie said, you can't just listen to it and put on as background music one day when you're just chilling at home. It's an album you got to deep it every time you listen to it. You have to deep it. So yeah.
So I don't actually talk about some of the tracks, but I actually want to shout out a few tracks. So No Peace with Busta Rhymes. I thought that was an excellent way to start off the album. Like for the first actual song. You can kind of guess what it is from the title. That was really good. Black Love was an amazing track. I found that quite soothing, really, in a weird way. And then I also want to shout out African Children with Codex and Yonder with Nas and Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson doesn't get the props she deserves. I think she has one of the best voices ever. And she's really shines. Talented. She shines so bright.
Jennifer's crazy
on this track. I feel like I'm always gonna. Anyway, I was driving through Collier's Wood, and this song came on, and I had it on max, my windows down, and I kid you not, people were just like, I don't know if they're looking at the car because the music was loud, but it looked like people were in awe of her voice. Anyway, so that was an amazing track as well. And Black Progress with Stephen Marley. I like Stephen Marley. But yeah, I feel like all of those tracks had like a really good message. Every track on the album has a really good message, but alongside Strange Fruit, these tracks are really good, in my opinion.
No, it's calm. Cool. Silence for the deep.
Yeah, I feel like the energy got taken away there because it's like it's a very serious album. It's not like I say, it's a very serious album, and it's not one that I feel like you can hear as we speak how it really is like a touching. It's very impactful, very touching. Yeah. So it's not like a one where you'd be like on a hype or listen to it. It's the one where you probably find yourself in quite a reflective mood. So yeah, it's definitely one that you should listen to. But one that you should listen to when you actually have the time to properly take it in. And understand the content.
You need to have the setting right. Like you need to be able to not have any distractions and just be able to play the album and just absorb it. and I feel like we need more albums like this. And I feel
I
like
agree.
this is like essential listening for a younger generation, regardless of race. I feel like it's essential listening. And I also feel like some of this might give insight to people who aren't clued up on what's happening around the world. Like it's a easier way to get into it, I guess.
Yeah, fair. Cool. I think that. Oh, sorry. Have we given our shouts ratings?
We haven't given any ratings yet. So I'll give mine. I believe it was a 4.
4 for me as well.
Ollie?
I don't know how to rate it. I feel like it's a masterpiece. Masterpiece is out of 5. I don't think there's a single bad point about the album, but I don't think it has the replayability that you'd want as well. So I think a 4 might be fair, but I don't know how I'd rate it really.
See, I get what you're saying here, because yes, it really is a really, really good project, but normally when I'm thinking of a 5, I'm thinking about albums that I'm going to listen to all the time. Yeah. And I don't think that I'm going to listen to this album all the time, or that I'd want to. I feel like replayability is part of the equation. It's part of the importance to it as well.
Yeah.
So, but then at the same time, I feel like the only reason why I wouldn't listen to it all the time is because of the subject matter. Like it would just be kind of depressing. I mean, so
yeah. So
this album is very adult contemporary hip hop, isn't it? Like it is that cognac sipping, finger tapping on your sofa.
Yeah, it is. And with that being said, I feel like Red Tree 2 should have had a placement on there, because he would have been very good.
Yeah.
He actually would have. Akala would have been good as well.
I agree, but some stuff I thought of the way Akala raps, maybe he wouldn't fit this, but maybe, I don't know.
So yeah, I guess I'll just concede to a 4, but my standout track was Yonder.
Okay, cool. Cool, guys.
What's your standout track, Manny?
My standout track is No Peace.
That was a good track.
I think that might be my one as well. No, my one was actually Strange Fruit, wasn't it? That's fine. Yeah. Cool, but I don't mind No Peace being, because we all picked different songs. I think No Peace would be a fair one as well to be given as.
Yeah, same. I think we'll go for that.
So what are we giving this as an overall score?
4.
And
No Peace. So yeah. Is there any other news out there this week in the news?
I think new albums that are coming out. Meg Thee Stallion's coming out, I think, this week. Or is it? I saw an announcement for Meg Thee Stallion.
Is she going to reply to the kid Tory?
Sit your ass down, Tory.
I think she should reply. She shouldn't do anything. I don't think she should give him a moment of her time.
Why not? Do you think that he should on purpose?
I don't think she has any reason to lie. I think the way he's making it out, it's like he was playing around. I'm sorry,
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
I don't know.
He said it was a struggle for the gun. That's what he said.
Okay, nothing he has said makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense, and I don't see a reason why this girl would lie about what's happened. However, innocent till proven guilty. I just think that the way he's gone about it, there are some things he's done and said after the fact.
Can I just take you through the track list of this album? So the first
Meg's
song,
album.
Yeah, Meg's album, which comes out on this Friday. The first song is called "Shot Fired."
Are you serious?
The first song is called "Shot Fired." Oh my god, I'm dead.
The second song is called "Shot Received."
Yeah, Shot Received. No, it's second one, Circles. Third one is Cry Baby. Next,
my days.
And then it goes to that.
Shellings.
Yeah,
Jesus. The album's called Good News.
To be fair, right, That to me says that Tory is telling the truth. If they were not in a relationship or whatever, she wouldn't bother doing this. She's doing this because she feels aggrieved by the whole situation because she was in love. I feel like I believe everything that Tory said. I think that he was putting it on Kylie because he wanted to get the Kylie Minogue, Kylie Jenner check. He wanted to. He just forgot about Meg for a second. Meg got upset. They started arguing. Someone reached for the gun. He wrestled it back. Meg got shot in the back of her leg, back of her foot, sorry. And it probably wasn't even the actual proper direct hit, probably just shrapnel. But yeah.
What, do you know what? I don't think it's actually healthy or good for either of us, any of us, to speculate on what happened, to be honest.
Oh, no.
We all got to wait and see.
We absolutely can speculate. These are celebrities. They want it. They love the attention.
I don't know. A girl got shot. I don't know. And if he is innocent, it doesn't help him if I'm over here going, he's a dickhead.
A day or two later, she got shot. She was on Instagram Live showing everyone that she was in the pool with her homegirls or whatever. So
people deal with things differently.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. But if she's showing that she wants to be out there in the world, then I'm going to talk about it. If she was like, oh, give me space, whatever, and then she was like, just faded to black and like,
oh no, I don't have an issue with talking about it. I think having a strong opinion, I had a strong opinion, you have a strong opinion on it, and I think maybe we need to pull back on both of our opinions until we find out more.
Maybe, but I'm just gonna say, free Tory. I need that quarantine radio back.
Quarantine.
Well, I'm going to say protect black women, so...
Got to.
He does. Of course he protects black women. He does it all the time, Sometimes he shoots them.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my days.
All right.
Right, so I'm going to give everyone the socials. All right, so follow us.
What are the socials, man?
Follow us on Instagram, EarSauce_. Follow us on Twitter, EarSauce_. You can get in touch.
And one more time for the people at the back.
EarSauce_. You can get in touch with me on Twitter, Manu890. Afia, you go next. What are your socials?
I am on Instagram and I am earsauce.afia.
Matt, what are your socials?
They know what it is. I'm not giving it to them again.
Okay,
they love my socials.
Ollie, what's your socials?
Saving the best to last. You can catch me on the app with the bird, the blue thing, Twitter, don't know where I'm at. OC Clark _10, don't know, getting me, jumping man's DMs, let man cuss you back, black.
You want all the girls in your DMs, yeah? Okay.
Man didn't say that, but man's out to respond to everyone's DMs.
That's what man wanted.
Man came with a save.
Very nice. Okay.
So much.
My wife. Oh yeah, by the way, Borat 2 is hilarious. Oh my god, I really did
I told you it was gonna be jokes.
It's so funny.
I could not find it.
I was crying all the way through.
I didn't like it.
What is wrong with you? How can you like that?
I'm 24 minutes in and I'm struggling to like.
Nah,
you know what it is? You have to have a sick sense of humour to enjoy Borat 2.
Caging up his daughter, mad thing, bruv. I can't.
You have not seen anything yet, man. Just wait till he goes to the party with her. That's not the best.
Wait. The rich party. The rich party.
Yeah.
That's the part where I stopped watching. It started off jokes when he was like doing a Trump skit and the Kanye West thing. I was cracking up there, but then once his daughter came out there, bro, it's just too much for me.
You should have seen it when he goes into the synagogue as well. That was terrible, absolutely terrible.
Oh man,
I'm gonna try and finish it. I'm
not gonna lie to you. What that movie shows me, right, is how dumb some people are in America because this guy's already he's made 2 movies now over there. He made 3 now, but he made Borat and he made Bruno as well. And he also
the dictator.
and it was a dictator in America as well. Yeah, it was, isn't it?
Yeah.
He also did a TV show called Who Was America, where he's doing a similar sort of thing. And he just kept mocking these people, and they keep letting him do it. Like, how are they still falling for it? It's crazy. But anyway, I just feel like people would cotton on a bit quicker in England, but I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't. Who knows?
Watch Borat if you have a sick sense of humour.
Yeah, I give Borat 2. I give that 4 S's.
No, you mean eyes? It's eyes, bro. It's eyes.
Was it EarSauce for that? 4 eyes.
Okay. Come in soon. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for. Sorry, is that a wrap? Any more reviews?
I don't know, man. Is there any more reviews?
Oh, there was one more, innit? You and Ollie had a little special.
Let's take that. We'll bring that in next week.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Cool.
That took you time to listen to it.
All right, then. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
EarSauce.